Hey everybody, it's Prince's friend, and welcome back to the channel again. We're getting back in gear and we're getting more videos out. I have this one today. I also have a couple more hopefully planned for next week. And obviously we have the anniversary of Prince's death coming up here soon, 1 year, and I'm hoping to have some sort of video ready for that. I'm already getting kind of emotional about it, so I don't know, we'll see what happens. For right now, though, we are on to the next review, which is for Sheila E's Romance 1600. This was released in 1985, and I think we can all agree that Sheila E was basically the best thing to come out of Prince's urges to create proteges. I know some people say at the time, but in my opinion, Sheila E is just amazing. I have most of her albums, and she even went on to do more music even after she stopped collaborating directly with Prince, and those albums were really good as well. So I think also this album is really cool because it actually is way better than her first album. This one kind of blows that first one out of the water. It was arranged and written and produced mostly by Prince. He even did some backing vocals, but this time around Sheila was there the whole time. She was consulted on all the tracks, and she got to put her input in there, which is not something that most proteges get to do, first off. That's actually like a huge deal. She even got to make one song, which is an instrumental on here, that is just hers and didn't have any Prince influence, and it's really short, but it's good. So around the same time as this album was also the really big movie called Crush Groove, where she played opposite Run DMC and the Fat Boys in this movie that was all about kind of the fledgling movement of early hip-hop in New York. It was responsible for shaping so many young black lives, mine included. I really love that they had a wide enough viewpoint on what the music and the movement was, to not just have it be rap, and to go ahead and include Sheila as well as kind of an alternative to just, you know, the Run DMC b-boy rapping, that there actually was a different side, but it was all encompassed in the same thing. I think it also really showed off her acting chops. She wasn't like the best actor or anything, but she was far from the worst in that movie, and I think it really showed that she's got some talent there. So during this time also, she was still working with Prince. Right after this album was when she went ahead and joined The Revolution, and she started playing some concerts with The Revolution and doing percussion and whatnot. So this is obviously before the full transition to the Love Sexy Band, which was her next album, and I'll do a review for that later. I think that the idea of Sheila E around this time was where she was actually starting to separate herself. She wasn't just an extension of Prince, like so many other acts that Prince has done seem to just kind of orbit around his fame. She was becoming her own thing. Like, at first she was, you know, with the Glamorous Life, and oh, that's the girl who does the Glamorous Life. Didn't Prince write that? Yeah, she did. Yeah. She was already becoming her own thing at this point, and I think that that was really, really cool, and I think it was great for her career that this kind of launched her outside of being just a Prince protege. Let's go ahead and get into the tracks. Gonna leave it to sister fate, destiny. She's the only thing that stands in the way of you and me. Sister fate, destiny. What's never gonna be together? Wait and see. Wait and see. So I dig this opening song a lot. It was a single that reached number 26 on the Hot Dance Music charts, which is pretty good. And I think it already puts the album head and shoulders over the first one. Sister Fate is a song about rumors, people talking about her and this guy getting together, but they really aren't. And if you refer to the lyrics, it's just fate standing in their way. So it's probably one of those we're never both single at the same time situations, or something always comes up whenever we try to date, like a different job opportunity where one of us has to go away or something like that. You know, but they stick together and they're still friends because one day it'll happen. I think that this song is a great start, first off, and it's got some crazy drums, unsurprisingly. They open the song and they bring the song through to completion. You can also tell that Sheila has been working on her vocals because she comes out of the gate really strong on this track. So this song has a steady beat and a kind of a grooving guitar. It actually is really poetic. Looking at Michelangelo's paintings, she feels his loneliness. She wants to be with him so that he doesn't feel like that. And it's actually really, really poetic. The music itself is good, but I have a problem with some of the, I guess equalizing is what you'd call it, because most of the lyrics you can't really hear. Like, they're really strong and poetic, but they're lost under kind of this, kind of the music. The music's way louder than the vocals. But I think that the song is all in all really, really good. That's what we are. We all wanna love Bazaar. That's what we are. We all wanna love Bazaar. And then this, of course, was the song that people bought the album for. It was the Love Bazaar. This was released as a full 12-minute single, though there's an edit too that's just under 4 minutes. It reached number 11 on the Hot 100 charts, and number 1 on the Hot Dance Club Play charts. While Prince had a hand in most of the tracks, this is the one where he full-on duetted with her, so that's pretty cool. The video for this song I actually like way better because it's a live performance, and if you've read some of my other ones, I like that Prince speeds up most tracks during a live performance. I think it delivers the song more effectively. The album version is really, really good too, but it's a little slow for my taste since I got accustomed to the faster tone of it. This song they actually sang on Crush Groove. Sheila E sang it on stage, and she had one of the people in her band pretending to sing Prince's parts. I think that just, again, it's just another thing that just added more clout to her in the hip-hop community. The song, like the first 3.5 minutes of the single basically is the song, and then the rest of it is just guitar and sax, and it's an extravaganza that I think anybody should go listen to. It's a really, really good song. Sister's got a place she goes whenever she's lonely. She's got a toy box. Love it comes so easy when the children open doors. Doesn't matter who knocks. Sister's very kind, so it's never quite a problem when it. So the melody to this song is something I really, really love because it's not really like what you hear in other places. And if you listen to the kick drum, it's really, really fast for a medium-paced song. So I think that they were really playing around with some different things here. I think it's also awesome because it can make some people uncomfortable if they listen too closely to the lyrics, because it's about a young girl, 17 it says in the song, who isn't afraid to masturbate. Boom. She'll go sleep with boys who are jealous that they don't have a vagina like hers, a toy box. But, you know, if she's feeling lonely, she'll just play by herself. You know, it's all good. There's some great sax in this song, and she, near the end, goes into like a Brother Jules voice that Prince made famous a little bit longer. You know, a lot of the, good God, you know, I can't go to the club without my jewels. You know, stuff like that. I think it was pretty interesting that this was a B-side to Holly Rock, which was a song that was just on the Crush Groove soundtrack. So I think that really shows how strong it is that they were like, yeah, this one's gonna sell the album. I think it's really, really good.
Every girl coach has got a favorite car.
Car makes a girl lose her cool.
My daddy had a yellow Riviera Star.
Daddy used to let me drive to school.
All the boys that follow me after class.
Never let him take me for a ride.
I didn't want him thinking that I was fast.
So this song is a weird one. It goes into kind of a big band style groove, but without like a big band. Instead, there's just Sheila E, and she's kind of singing about everybody loves her yellow car, her yellow pants that hug her ass, and how everyone's jealous of her. And then you have the backing vocals by Prince, who kind of elaborates on what she says, kind of like a weird, subdued hype man. The song doesn't really go anywhere musically, which is why, you know, it's not really high up on my list, but it's cute enough.
Romance, romance, 1600. Let's dance till we see the sun. Romance, romance, 1600. All for one for all.
The beginning of this song reminded me a little bit of Dare to Be Stupid by Weird Al, if you can hear it. But I digress. This is a crazy song about a date bringing her to, I mean, what's basically an eyes wide shut orgy where everyone wears a mask. I think it's important to note that her and her date don't actually have sex. I think he probably watches because she uses the line that he doesn't touch her, but he pleases her in his head. I don't know, it's kind of weird stuff. I feel like this song was probably supposed to be on 1999 because it has that same kind of vibe where it's talking about sex but not in a very direct way. But I'm glad I ended up on this album instead. I think that Sheila E. sang it really well, and it's a really good song, and it kind of makes you think. Alright, so this track begins with some carnival sounding music and background, and then it leads into some really funky drums by Sheila herself. Again, this is the track where Prince didn't have any involvement in it, so she got to do everything she wanted to do. And the sax comes in, really amps up the track, then it kind of just goes crazy and then just kind of ends. It's an instrumental. It's rather short, actually, just under 3 minutes, but it's really, really good. It's really, really it's a fun listen.
Stay with me. Tell me a bedtime story. Long ago.
Bedtime Story begins with Sheila doing some Prince-style crooning and moaning at the beginning, which I really like, and it's interesting to hear somebody else try and do that because they're really so like authentically Prince, but she does actually very well at it. The first verse is her asking for a bedtime story from her lover because she can't sleep, but he's not actually there. So it's more like she's telling a bedtime story to herself, kind of like an affirmation kind of thing. The second verse is the story of a beautiful princess who is lonely because her man never has time for her, so she hopes that she'll be able to make a new life without him eventually. I think it really shows off Sheila E.'s singing chops. I mean, a lot of people can sing pop songs and faster tracks, but pulling off a ballad is always the true test. Because when you're holding those long notes and you have to hit those high notes and make the melodies work without the aid of the speed and repetitiveness, like if you miss a note, people know it. But I think she really, really killed this song, and it's a great ending for the album.
Rock, rock, holly rock, everybody wanna holly rock. Rock, rock, holly rock, everybody wanna holly rock. Say it! Rock, rock, holly rock, everybody wanna holly rock. Rock, rock, holly rock, everybody wanna holly rock. Somebody.
Bonus round, Holly Rock. So this one was also written by Sheila E. With Prince on deck, and he helped produce it. But this is a really rockin' track. There's not a lot lyrically going on, but it's super funky and was one of those things that really made Sheila E. stand out and Crush Groove. Again, this one and a Love Bazaar together and on the soundtrack was just amazing. This song actually wasn't on Romance 1600 because it was just on the Crush Groove soundtrack, but it was actually released as a single for the movie to help promote the movie. And I think that that's such a big deal, since that means that the makers of the movie and the producers and the studio and all that really thought that she was the thing that was going to sell this movie. And this movie that was meant to highlight early rap groups more than Sheila E. and her Funk Machine got behind her and again made her a thing. It's a really fun track. So in conclusion, I really like this album. I think it towers over the first album, really shows a lot of growth from Sheila E. Her vocal range has improved. She's leveraging her appearance in Crush Groove to become a household name. Everything is amazing about this. It's better musically. It's all arranged better. It gives you a better experience. And again, it's just really awesome. So what did you think of Romance 1600 by Sheila E? If you agree with me and my review, tell me in the comments. And if you disagree with me, definitely tell me in the comments. I love the comments that tell me I have no clue what I'm talking about. But if you do like these videos, don't forget to like and subscribe, favorite so that you get the updates whenever we put out another one, and may you live to see the dawn. See you later.